dab.
Nope. All right. Okay, we're recording now. How's it going on your end?
It's going good.
Okay.
So, another episode of Amped and Unfiltered, and we're talking about PTSD and serving in the Canadian Army tonight. So, let's introduce our guest today, Ange.
This is Dan. Dan, what's better than Slipknot?
Pantera.
Yeah, so Dan is one of my bestest buddies, and he has PTSD.
Yeah.
In a way, eh, bud?
In a way, it's
In
a lot
way.
better.
In a way.
It was in a way.
Yeah.
It was.
Now it's the way's getting a little better.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about this. You have some questions for
So let's just. What made you want to talk about what you're dealing with today?
I feel like there is a lack of transparency. I think there's filtered too much, and I think that the harder parts are kind of censored. Eventually, my whole goal is to do it like on as regular as I can,
right,
on a bigger platform or whatever. To have some sort of voice,
right.
Community.
I just feel like there's a lot of, it's very nuanced too. There's a lot of different aspects to it that people don't necessarily take into consideration, I think. So part of my goal is to raise that awareness.
Right. Educate people.
Yeah. It's one of those things too, like there's certain things that I will talk about that happen and what I've dealt with. And then there's some things that you tailor it to the demographic too. But I feel like if no one talks about it, then no one knows. And then you're left with what's on the movies and,
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like personally, without talking to you, because you're the only person I know that has gone through that, I would learn off the TV.
Yeah.
You know,
basically.
That's it. If you don't know someone, you don't know because you're only learning what you see, right?
Yeah.
And if it's like absolutely untrue or it's just showing you some parts of it, you don't really.
There's some poor movies there. They're like Hyena Road, something like that.
What's the most realistic movie you've seen? That is
I don't typically watch them, but
no.
There's parts of Hurt Locker that I find.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That one's a really good one, actually.
Anything outside of him going like, Maverick outside the wire, like anything outside that. Anything beside that was pretty good. 13 Hours. That's relatively accurate. I mean, I didn't experience what they did, but like as far as like the combat situations go,
Right. Yeah.
So what are some things that maybe people back home are, misunderstood about, the experience? Like, what are some of the misunderstandings about it?
Well, I think a lot of it is probably it's hard to say. I don't really know. I think one of the bigger issues is that people think it's got to be physical, right? When you say you got PTSD, I've had people say like, "Would you get shot?"
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to, have something physical, which would definitely been easier if I lost a limb.
Right.
Right. You don't have to explain it, like the whole mental part of it.
Right.
People don't understand the moral aspects of it too. You have like moral trauma. That being like doing things that would be contradiction to some of your beliefs or how you've been raised or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I look at it like growing up in a small town in Newfoundland, and then you have someone from Toronto, right? You could stand beside each other and do the exact same shit, but then one person's affect more to the other because someone from Toronto would have been more exposed to violence potentially, and I can't speak to it. I didn't grow up there, but in Newfoundland, I mean,
we take much of it happens here at all.
We take things in our own hands, but like worst thing of death, I mean, is shooting a moose or
Right.
someone got hit by a moose, like
Yeah.
devastating there, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like there's there's differentiating factors that people don't take into consideration, I think, a lot of the time, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, I don't fault people for it because they don't. It's not even ignorance; they don't know.
They don't know.
Right? And so that's part of my goal, right? I'd like to bring it up and make people
So they do know.
So then they do know.
They do know.
Right? And then they can't.
Yeah, PTSD is such a huge.
Spectrum.
There's so mad because I have PTSD from like 5 or 6 different situations, but it's nothing compared to his.
Well,
PTSD,
and then I wouldn't
right?
minimize it by saying that either. My whole stance on it is relative, right? Like my worst day and your worst day are the same.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your worst day might be, having a hard time motivating yourself, and you just sit around and watch TV all day or whatever, right?
Right.
And or that could be my worst day, and then your worst day is like combating suicidal ideation.
Right.
You know what I mean? But relative to each other, if it's my worst day and it's your worst day,
Still
that's
worst
how
day.
you see it as is the worst day you're experiencing as your worst day.
Yeah.
It's relevant, right? And
Yeah.
it's all relative. It's not worse than.
Right.
I mean, people like to classify,
Right.
traumas.
They like to trauma compare.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's not. It's not something that you can compare. It's relative and it's
Yeah.
individual,
Right.
and it's nuanced, and it's,
Right.
right.
So what
Yeah,
was daily life like you when you were deployed?
Deployment, that varied too. Like, it wasn't complete chaos 24/7. You're living I say like, here I say like, I'll start with, over there you experience every second of every minute of every hour of every day.
Mhm.
So I think it takes a lot more time off. It feels like a longer period of time. Whereas here at home, you're driving down the highway, and it's a 2-hour drive, and then the next thing you know, you're getting off your exit.
Right.
You disassociate. It's safe. I mean, you're making the turns and you're doing whatever, but it's a dissociative.
Right.
Right.
Wow. Holy shit.
But you don't have that. You don't experience that overseas.
Right.
You're every minute of it, right?
Right.
Even in your sleep.
Right.
There's times where we just carry on. I got videos of me fighting with the other guys, like we're wrestling and then working out. Most of the things happen at night, so we would take off at night, or if I was on the gun liver, then we do it during the day.
Mhm.
And I mean, really, like, I mean, you can go a week with nothing really happening, nothing crazy. And
Right.
I mean, again, crazy is very,
What is crazy?
my definition of crazy may be, but something that wouldn't be crazy is, I mean, I wouldn't think it crazy. I know there's a couple times where guys were trying to plant IEDs and blew themselves up outside our position. That's not crazy. That happened.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's
right.
not crazy. That just happens, and it's funny. Well,
We get you.
let's get a little sensitive here for a second. Human beings are talking about. I mean, again, that speaks to the training and how they break you down to like a molecular level, and then they build you into something completely different. Useless in society, but useful in the military.
Right.
Right?
So what
I think
surprised
for
you
you
the most
it's
about being
right.
over there?
Pardon?
What surprised you the most about being over there?
The biggest shock?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things. So, like, one thing would be, on a lighter note, would be the greenery. It's not flat and desert and desolate. And it's not that. It's very mountainous, and like the mountains there are huge, and the greenery. Like, again, one of the fobs was you had to go through like an oasis. Beautiful. And the worst, I guess, would be like just a shock was probably what humans can do to other people.
Yeah.
Right.
What men do to other men for whatever reason.
Well,
Right.
you know what? My dad is a British SAS soldier, and I asked him one time exactly what peacekeeping was, and his answer was, it's just a license to kill, really. I mean, that's how he described it anyways to me. So what was your role when you were there? Like, what was your job?
I kind of took a couple jobs. So I was with the observation post, so with the artillery. So we attached avec la vendeuse. I was the vendeuse out of Quebec. And I would hang out with the snipers and call in artillery, call in positions, blow shit up.
The fun stuff. So how did your time there change you? And if at all?
Well, it definitely changed. I don't think you can go there without it.
For sure.
Again, even just landing there, even if you're someone that spent their entire time in Kandahar, I mean, that was safe. Individual experience is very for sure, right? Like some people get the Tim Hortons every day, and we didn't. We definitely did not. I mean, you're lucky if you had a porta john to take a shit in,
Really?
Oh yeah. I think it definitely for a long time made me a little more cynical, for sure, and harder to see the good. But then it also, conversely, it also helped me see, first world issues. People complaining about tomatoes on there. I remember seeing this kid over there. He's one kid that really sticks out in my mind for over the years. Probably never seen a tomato before. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. So like, it's like first world issues. People go to McDonald's, they order a burger, they have money to buy it, and they ask for no tomato, and they get a tomato. This is just an example, right? And then they bitch about it. It's like, this is a first world issue, bro. Take it off. Right?
Yeah.
Don't complain about it. But
So
yeah.
do you find that you're okay? So before you went there, so everybody's sensitive in a certain ways. Do you find that you lost some of that sensitive, or were you even sensitive before you left your beast?
I'm too sensitive.
Newfoundlander, he's sensitive.
I'm too sensitive.
But did you find that you
for a while.
lost a lot of that?
Probably for a while.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with, again, cynicism. I think that comes with seeing the worst. I mean, there's a point in time where you see so much and you know how people can act towards other people. And I think that's what, you come back and it's like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
So
what
it's not a lot of humanity
part?
at a certain point, right?
Yeah, I bet.
What was the hardest part of you coming back?
Definitely releasing, at least, was that purpose, being part of something bigger. Yeah, that was because I enjoyed it,
Right,
and I feel like I was good at it, and
well, you're still alive, so you're
yeah,
good
right,
at it,
to a
right?
degree, right? But yeah, I think that it's that whole purpose and being part of something bigger than yourself. Which, I mean, that's a pretty common theme. I hear that from a lot of other people. So
Right.
I thought I was different, and not in like, I mean, I'm special, different, but I mean, like, I thought, my God, like, I mean, am I the only one that thinks this way? But no, there's a lot of other people with the same experience.
Yeah. And when you came back, like, how there's a lot of like homeless veterans and all that kind of stuff. Is that something that when before you go, like, do they say like, we're going to look after you? And,
Not really.
No, they just think, hey, fuck, when
they
you're done,
they told me before I left, because they were the powers that be were a little butthurt that I was getting out, because they wouldn't post me to Petawawa.
Okay.
And that's why they call it Alcatraz.
Yeah.
They call it Alcatraz because once you're there, you can't get out. It's like they have this, we can't have you, nobody else can.
Okay.
So anyway, I released. Well, they told me I'd be working at McDonald's, or
Wow.
They
wow.
don't. Yeah, but then I've been pretty fortunate that I've had a lot of people around me that are well versed in the Veterans Affairs,
Right.
and asking me, like, "Did you get this benefit? Do you get this one?" I'm like, no, it's out. So and there's a lot of groups like the one that I work with now, the Veteran Wellness Alliance. They help people, help the veterans and first responders with some of the paperwork, right?
Right.
At no cost. Like, I mean, so that's you know.
So if there's people that come back and that don't have like the kind of contacts or whatever that you have, they're just fucked. Really?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know anything about veterans because they don't advertise it,
right?
And I mean, why would they? Because it's going to cost them, right?
Millions, yeah.
And then that's where they're not going to do that, and they're finding that reasonable deniability. Like for hearing loss, I remember them asking me if I do work, am I employed in a loud, or if I use it. Loud machines, or if I
environment, yeah,
or if I attend concerts and stuff like that, because that could affect me. That's right. That's reasonable deniability.
Yeah,
right. And it had nothing to do with the fact that we were shooting guns and hearing explosions. And
it was Slipknot did it.
100% cruelty.
But I mean, that's just it, though, right? That's part of that reasonable deniability, but. Again, that's not on an individual. I don't mean to say anything negative about Veterans Affairs. It's not the individuals employed by. To a degree, some have that human aspect, and they get butthurt if you argue with things. And
right.
But for the most part, in my experience, it is the bureaucratic jargon that they try to navigate, and they cannot get past certain things, right? So a lot of the people are just like, they want to help, but they're limited. With what they can do, and a lot of them don't agree with some of the policies, and again the bureaucracy of it all. But so
what's helped you adjust to life after deployment?
It took me a number of years to figure that out. I'm still working on it. Trying to find that purpose still, closer and closer. I struggled with my own demons and mental health for years up until recently, and then I kind of put on the right path. And it wasn't until my kids, for sure, big part, saved me, but that's just to the depths of the darkness, right? You can lose yourself, right? And there's nothing really, and you can convince yourself of anything. Like, if you're not around, it's probably better for the kids, kind of thing, right? You can get to those places, and it's very common. I mean, you can literally convince yourself of justify anything, any action, right? And it completely makes sense. It's like, yes, that's 100% the course of action I must take in order to, save my kids' lives or whatever, right? Save the trouble and the variety of emotions that they would experience, dealing with, myself in any given mental state, right?
Right.
At least if you're not around, then they only have, one of two, like
but then you're dealing with other issues too, not
right?
being around.
But there's some continuity to those emotions. If I wasn't around, anger or sadness, there's some, like I said, the continuity around that, and they only have to learn how to mitigate those. Otherwise, it's happiness, sadness, anxiety, all kinds of, an array of emotions that they would experience. But I mean, I see that's a lie, and it's not the truth right now. And that's another thing that I encourage people, right, to see it that way. But Stoicism and Christianity, for sure. Definitely.
What?
Stoicism.
What's that mean?
Stoicism. So a lot of people get it mixed up with it's like philosophy, right? Like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus and Lucius Seneca.
A lot of big words.
Yeah. These are names.
They're names. Really, you don't belong there.
Okay, she would have clued in one day.
Right. Stoicism is like a lot of people think it's being completely devoid of emotion, but what it is experiencing the emotions, but in the correct setting and the appropriate way, right? A lot of it is like you have power, you have control over yourself and not outside events, and when you realize that, you'll find strength. As Epictetus and Aurelius both say that. And there's a lot of parallels between Stoicism and Christianity. Like kind of make it whole, right? Like,
So are
stoicism
you a
gets this way.
Christian?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100%. I've always been my whole life. Like,
Yeah.
and at the end, it's one of those things too. I grew up in Pentecostal church in Springville, right? Like,
My dad was a Sunday school teacher.
yeah, right on. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's one of those things where I've seen too much to deny it.
Yeah.
Right. I've survived too much to deny it.
I've seen too much of the fake stuff to
There's
believe
that
it.
too, right? Yeah. No,
You know
I get
what
it.
I mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm never like, I'm of the opinion that if it's your PlayStation to get you up in the morning and a contributing member of society, good for you, because you've already opened the door to spirituality to a degree and gives you some hope.
Mhm.
And hope is the big thing, right? And
Yeah.
the other thing that I like to encourage is Blaise Pascal. He was a 1600s mathematician and philosopher. He has Pascal's wager, they call it, and it is a rational mind would choose to believe in God because he has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty good philosophy, actually.
Pardon?
Pretty good philosophy, actually.
Yeah, it's a gambling person. I mean, makes sense to me, right?
So
I learned bad shit, so I don't like any of it.
what do you wish more people understood about PTSD?
The varieties, I guess. You'll never understand it all.
Mhm.
Whatever is in the DSM, and that yeah, it's not really something you can teach.
Because every single person's
it's-
thing
it's-
is so different.
It's very individual, and
Mhm.
I don't know.
So how does PTSD show up for you in daily life?
It used to show up a lot of different. I don't like using the word trigger, but because it's like overused, and now it's very like liberal.
You don't like
But-
the L word here.
Right? Nor do I. But I dreams, thoughts, smells, people, groups of people,
Right.
places, individuals. There was kind of a multitude of different things that would be, for lack of better words, triggering. So, and that's and how it would manifest is what's different. I mean, each one's kind of different. But then, what I found was when you find a way to to traverse it, or the mitigate the experience or whatever it is, it evolved, and then it found its own way. It found another way to manifest, and then you had to find another way, a whole new experience, right? So the same thing mutates, for lack of better terms. So you learn how to deal with it this way, and then the way it would you'd experience it, the way that it would manifest would be completely different the next time. Like, not like it wasn't like the next day it would be different, because nothing happens overnight, but like over a year span or whatever. Then you finally find coping skills and mechanisms and ways to traverse it. Then it just kicks in again. It's weird.
So what's been most helpful for you managing the difficult memories and symptoms?
Definitely my beliefs, and I'm a big fan of education, and I like to educate myself. But I've recently attended this place in Algonquin called Dimensions, and that place is transcendent. It's like completely.
What is that?
Well, it was a 10-day retreat, and it's your own cabin. You're spoiled. It's like, but it's complete. It's designed to be that way. So you don't have to worry. Like, they'll do your laundry, they do all this stuff, so you don't have to worry about things.
No worries.
Yeah. So you can completely just focus on yourself and work on yourself. And they do these cannabis ceremonies there with very like spiritual.
Right.
And before going there, like some of the things I talk about now, I'm like, there's no way you hear me say this stuff, right? Talk about energy and stuff like that. And it's like, there's no way you hear me talk with this. And
Right.
I would have laughed at you, but then after this place, I was like, yeah, it's real. It's true.
Really?
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Just the way they have it put together, the amount of the education that the staff have, the level of and the amount of research and time they put into the designing the program itself is profound. And like right down to the food, it's all real fancy food.
Really?
You know, it's fancy when the chef comes out and tells you what you're eating.
Yeah.
But
Let's explain it.
yeah, and after that, and it being in nature too, there's something to be said about that.
So is that something you go to like once a year?
No,
or
I mean, you
or
can.
just whenever you want. You go there.
You can. It depends on the funding.
Right.
VA still just getting, just coming around to it slowly.
Right.
There needs to be more awareness on it, but like they're more likely to send you to the Homewood or something like that, right? Bellwood.
Right.
But those are good for certain things, right? I mean, people aren't experiencing addiction; they want to get this help, and that's where Dimensions would come in, right? As opposed to these other places. I think Homewood has a different program, but I digress.
Homewood. Never heard of that either.
They
We actually got him coming on the show in a couple of weeks.
Heard him?
The guy that the director of Homewood, we got him coming on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good places for certain things, but this place, I tell you, it's like when you're ready to level up, that's where you go. This place, Dimensions.
Really?
It's just incredible.
And where's that, in Ontario?
Yeah, in Algonquin.
Oh, in Algonquin.
Yeah, it's not far from here. Anyway.
Wow. And is it a new place?
Relatively,
Yeah.
5 years now, I think. So they do stuff for civilian. They do civilian programs too. They do, and I mean, honestly, if you have the means, I would highly recommend everybody go to the Alliance. Because it opens you up to do a whole different level of thinking.
Right. So it's not just for somebody with PTSD. It's for all kinds of different things.
Yeah. And my whole, I think that everybody would benefit from even a rehab program.
Right.
You know, you don't have to have an addiction, but like the stuff that you learn there.
Right.
I think that you use, because I've been 9 times to rehab. Right. I think that, and if it wasn't for this 10-day program, changed my life. Right. I've done probably combined 1.5 years, maybe a year at least in rehab facilities. So over the years, right? So
it works differently for everyone, right?
Right. And I think that I encourage people that the success rate for the first time out of a rehab is only like 5% or something. Yeah. So not to get disheartened if you leave and have to go back. Just keep going. If you need 14 things and you get 1 thing each day, then go 14 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you keep showing up for yourself, and I mean, there's a whole new topic there. I mean, about going and like not doing it for other people. You have to genuinely mean it to go for yourself.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that go to rehab that are just wasting fucking people's time.
Yeah. If you're not ready to go, then I mean, don't kid anybody. You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as like, a lot of times people, especially family, they'll think it's selfish, taking time for yourself and working. But like, if you can't, it's the same, if you want to use that their logic against them, it's like, why do they say if you're going down in a plane to put your mask on first? Because if you can't breathe, you ain't helping anybody else.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what kind of routines and practices do you use to help feel grounded?
I might not look like someone that does meditation, but I definitely do. Maintaining the level of spirituality, learning and growing, trying to, and definitely helping others. Like Saturday, I'm going to visit another veteran who's struggling. So I like to get out there and try to. So again, like I'm trying to build up to doing something myself. So
but helping other vets, that must help. That's got to do a lot for yourself.
Well, there's got to be a purpose to it too, right? And I feel like, 9 out of 10 people despise public speaking. I love it, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, if you have these things and these skills or traits, that you should use them.
Abilities,
you'd
For
be
sure.
doing a disservice to society. Like
If
if you were educated enough to be a doctor
Mhm.
and you decided to pop smoke and bug out and go and live in the middle of
What a
nowhere.
waste.
But that's, I mean, your prerogative, your right to do so as a human and having the freedom to choose. However, you're completely doing a disservice to yourself and society by removing your intellect and your knowledge and your ability to help other people.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't agree with that. Right. I mean, I think there's a level of selflessness that you have to have in because to serve, right?
Right.
Without that, I don't know.
That makes sense, though.
Right.
If you can do it, do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, who or what has been a great support system to you?
Pardon?
Who or what has been a strong source of support to you?
Well, God for sure, right? And then everybody else, people that I served with, people that continue to do the work, and there's a lot of other people out there that do similar things, right? It's all anybody that's struggled and pushed on, definitely encouraging and motivating, right?
So, has your experience influenced your values or your priorities in life?
Yeah, priorities. Yeah, I guess. Values. I mean, well, I guess that's a tough one too.
She's good at tough questions.
I think like going and experiencing, anything like that overseas or whatever. I think it would change some aspects. Values, maybe valuing freedom and, well, I mean, that's subjective, I guess, but
nowadays.
The freedoms, at least, I mean, you have here. Like, I mean, I can go to the store. I can, don't have to worry about a whole lot, right? So I value more of that, and definitely having gone through, you people come in your life and they leave your life, and so you value real people and authentic people and people that are good for you. So I value that a little more, and family. There are different things that.
So, what gives you purpose now?
And
and what part of your experience are you most proud of?
That's, I don't know if I am. Getting through it. Well, and again, I'm not through it, but I'm closer to the end. Closer to my authentic self, genuine self, than I am, even a year ago.
Through every day, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And what do you want your story to contribute to other people's understanding?
I mean, you can get past anything. You can make it through. I mean, I don't care. Like, I got a lot of things that are ongoing and still dealing with. I don't have it all figured out. Today might be the worst day of your life. Tomorrow might be the best, and you don't want to miss it, kind of thing,
Well, I think I'm all out of questions. Angie, got any?
She got a phone call.
Right.
She always does. She needs to learn how to turn our phone.
I don't think she has anything.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think I covered everything.
I know. My life is just nuts.
Just take a phone call.
Here's one. Were there moments of connection or humanity that stood out to you?
Like overseas?
Yeah.
This seems really bad if I gotta sit this long to think about humanity.
Well, no, not really, because you probably don't think about these questions
No.
daily, right?
Giving candy to kids and stuff, like that sounds really creepy, but
I was
I've
hoping
seen
you were gonna say that actually.
like in Afghanistan, they don't see these things, so you
Yeah.
give them a granola bar, something like that as you're walking by their village.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they don't normally.
No, they don't have certain things there.
Kids have never seen candy over there. Like
You have things shipped to us, right? Like people randomly ship things out and they get it, arbitrarily distributed. And yeah, you take a little pouch of stuff.
Kids have never seen candy.
Probably not. I'm sure not a lot of them have. Like in the little villages and stuff, depending on
Yeah. Well, and that's stuff we don't think about that.
No.
I've never thought about that. I know I have a friend in Africa, and they don't have Halloween over there. He didn't even know what Halloween was.
And that's what I mean. I mean that, like, about that whole
shock
story with the tomato. I mean, the kid probably never seen a tomato.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
wild.
I mean, seeing that's the human side of that. I mean, seeing their joy.
Yeah.
Right. But then, some of them will, they'd wave at you, but they're a product of their environment too, right? And they learn from those elders, and they'd wave at you, wave at us as we drive by, and we wave back, and then they'd go.
I guess there is
steal stuff off you and stuff. Oh yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess there's a general language out there. Everybody understands.
And so what other things were kind of like a culture shock to you? What here and there?
Here and there, there's everything's a culture shock.
I can imagine. Is there any kind of similarities at all? Nothing.
They breathe.
That's it.
I was going to say they put their pants
So
on.
did you try any of the food and stuff over there?
Not really. No.
Did you what?
No,
What was the question?
We didn't get out like kibble, and I mean, a lot of the time it wasn't safe for us to stop in Kandahar and just pop out and get a.
I guess not, right?
Right. No, I always ate. So the Americans bought our fob off of Ottawa, and then it's basically the same thing: powdered scrambled eggs.
What's FOB? What's that?
Forward operated base.
Which is what?
So there's like Kandahar, and then we were 4.5 hours convoy from Kandahar, like the airfield, and so then there's like Madison, Garnsburg, and Americans at like Terminator and Rod, and we were in Wilson. That's what you work out of, right? So you don't have to leave Kandahar every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what was your favorite IMP? I have to ask that. Because they're so bad.
First of all, what's an IMP?
Instant meal preparation.
Okay.
Beans and wieners.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the only one that's even tastes a little bit good.
So good. I mean, that cold. Yeah.
Is that the powdered stuff?
No. It's in a little.
They're freeze-dried meals. So you just add a little bit of water to them.
You're going to bring me one?
Yeah, you get them at like a surplus store.
Really?
Oh, they're gangster.
Oh, yeah.
Except they bung you up, which they're meant to, right? So you don't need to take a dump.
Oh, so they're meant to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was probably the only kid that got kicked out of cadets that I know of. And I remember it was for throwing the chicken puck. And that's what we used to call it, was chicken puck. It was a piece of boneless chicken breast that was dehydrated, that it didn't matter how much you got it moist, it was always a puck.
Well, that's like the bread.
Out the door.
I didn't know up until recently that the bread, it's like this little flat loaf.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're meant to hydrate it.
Yeah.
I had no idea this whole time. I'm cutting this little tiny.
Yeah. My mom's a major in the Canadian Army, and I was the only kid out of all of us that got kicked out.
That's all right.
Yeah, the Army wasn't for me.
It's okay.
Is there anything else that you want to mention? Anything other experiences that?
No, I think I can't think of anything right now.
No.
I mean, I can think of a lot of things, but yeah. Can't get it all out at once.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do your parents feel about your experience going over there? It must have been hard on them.
Yeah, I've heard some things. I mean, I didn't question too much or ask them too much. Didn't want them to. I didn't. I don't think I wanted to know how they felt. I know my brother had a hard time when I was there, but
So is anybody else in your family gone to military?
I got an uncle just recently retired. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
What made you want to get into it?
I kind of always had that idea.
Yeah?
I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ever since you were little?
but then realistically, I mean, the big part of it too was my dad had a sawmill in Springdale, and they stopped doing the trading with the states after 9/11.
Yeah.
So that's what brought us to Ontario.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I want to do my part
And that was your part.
kick some ass. Yeah.
Kick some ass. He's the ass kicker.
Right.
My husband a coffee.
Is it
He
full
just got
enough?
home from work.
No. It's how does your household deal with your PTSD? Like, does it affect them or?
Well, it has for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, that part, I try to keep it separated as best I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that that's every day type thing. If I'm having a hard time or you experience something, then separate yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't need to see, they don't need to experience, and kids and stuff you don't want to. But again, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
As it used to be, for sure.
Yeah.
So what are some of the treatments? I know that we've talked about some of the treatments that you've done for PTSD. Did you not try
Oh, did
the
ketamine.
Yeah, I remember when you were doing that.
I infused ketamine, like 30 of those.
Yeah.
That worked, but it didn't work as the effects are different for everybody too. So I'd be okay. Like I'd experienced positive effects for about 2 weeks, and then I'd have to go back for another one. And I did 30 or something.
Yeah.
And I think most people don't do that in their life. So
So what's the process of that? Like you go they give it to you.
Yeah,
take
it's
it home,
anesthesiology. No, you go to this clinic and the anesthesiologist was there and they put you down and you're not out, you're experiencing, right? So it's not the same as like I said, it's the sedative properties are kind of removed from it and you're not getting the crazy amount.
Right.
But I think setting was not appropriate for this place.
And so do you stay there while this?
Yeah. It's only about 45 minutes.
And then they just send you on your way.
Yeah. You're not driving home, but
yeah. Because I was just gonna say I've done K a lot of, not the way you've done it. I've done it recreationally. And I don't know how that could fix my PTSD. I just can't
there's
see
a lot
it.
of research behind it, but what I know a couple of my buddies are really advocating for Ibogaine. I'd love to try that, or psilocybin.
Yeah.
So these are new drugs that they're trying?
Yes. Yeah,
magic mushrooms, Ange. Magic mushrooms.
Oh, hey!
DMT and stuff, ayahuasca, like all those things I'd love to do. But
so the psychedelics is what they find.
They say that Ibogaine rewires your brain and process and
so what the mushrooms do is it actually creates your neural receptors to rebuild themselves and get better.
Oh, okay. Huh.
It's quite something.
Yeah.
That's something that grows out of the ground, right?
Right.
So I did microdosing for 1.5 years, and I've been off my antidepressants and everything else for close to 6 years now.
Because of the mushrooms?
Because of the mushrooms.
Wow. Huh. I was going to somebody suggested I try microdosing that for my anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
I never did do.
So you're not getting high. What you're doing is you're just taking a small enough dose to just get that brain rewiring itself again.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I've tried it before, and what I found is it's not enough to like get you high, but it gives you the thinking part of it all. Like
the problem with it is not a one size fits all. So it's not like you have to adjust it.
Yeah.
You can get it and put it in the capsules, dissolvable capsules.
Yeah.
Grind it up and put it in these capsules.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah, that's what I have, and I tried it, and I just didn't find that
You want to get it from a reputable source too, like
right.
some dude going in a basement, right?
Well, maybe that.
I mean, that's not the worst either, but the I think the amount of time too that it's been out, I think it's the efficacy of it starts decreasing after a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a chemist or I'm not really well versed at all in any of those.
How have therapies like EMDR and DBT and CBT?
EMDR is neat. The tapping version of EMDR, and then there's the one I recently done was I think one I call it neurofeedback. So there's like you're listening to like a soundtrack, but it's like meditative music, and then you're hooked up like these tanoids on your head, and you can see your brain waves, right? Like your subconscious, then your conscious, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's like it's alpha, beta, and delta. I think it is. Anyway, it skips. The music skips when you're. It like retracts your brain. I don't know how to explain it that well, but it does something. So it's like little CD Discmans you carry around. They skip. And it would just be like a second, and then it come back. Yeah. That's what this would do, and randomly it would. But it's like
getting you to refocus to something different.
Yeah, it's weird.
Really?
Yeah. I did a positive.
I use a train actually, so I use the sound of a train, and you can hear it when it hits the track, and I get them to tap when it hits the track, and it recirculates their brain.
It's cool.
Yeah, it is. It was just the easiest thing to do, right? Because you're listening to the train, and you can hear it when it hits that track, right? So then you want to refocus your head to think of something else when it hits that track.
Wow, I feel like that's a whole mushroom trip on its own.
That might work really well, actually.
Maybe.
A trip with some neurofeedback.
Yeah.
You might be onto something there.
Maybe. Do all your therapy high on the mushrooms.
I'm going to try, you know what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow? Radioactive ramen. So I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow.
Oh.
Radioactive ramen. Yeah, I'm going to check that out and see. It says edibles can cause cannabis poisoning that can be life-threatening to children, especially those younger than 5. Okay, well, we're good there. But yeah, I'm going to try it and see how it goes. So out of all of the treatments that you have done, what do you think is the most, like what one helped you the most? What did you find you got the most out of?
That's, I think it's hard to, I wouldn't say just one. I think they all played a part, right?
Right.
Some are a little like, I didn't get as much from, like CBT, for example, like cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah, it's some for some, but like I didn't like it at all. But there are certain things I took away from it.
Yeah.
Right.
That I implement with, and that's a whole part of what I like to share is I think that, not just putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right. You get something out of a bunch of different
it's like
things.
diversifying your portfolio, so to speak,
right?
So to speak. It's like learn get as much information on as many different modalities as possible. And then take what works and you like breathing in a box, for example. Like, I mean, for me, that's horseshit. Like,
breathing in a box?
It's like they suggest it's like breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, but like, or 6 or 8 or whatever you want to do. But by the time
4, 3, 2, 1.
But by the time, by the time I would need to implement something like that, I'm already too angry, or I'm already too anxious, or I'm already too, so I didn't. It irritated me more.
Yeah.
It was like, in the box. Have you tried that? It's like, yes. I don't like it.
I need something in the fucking box.
Yeah, I need something more invasive. Right. And then you try, like I tried Ativan and Razpam and Ativan.
That
The
just
pro-
makes me
I
sleep.
get, yeah, that's the problem with that too. Is like by the time like you're starting to recognize something, but you don't want to take it because it's too soon. It's going to drop you too low. There's like a threshold, and then if you somehow manage to hit that threshold and take it, then it drops you down below, but above like your lethargic sleep level.
Yeah.
Right.
But by the time you actually think you need to take it, you're up here, and it doesn't bring you down enough.
Yeah.
So that was
Right.
also
No good for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried Effexor?
That I don't need to be taken out of it and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Effexor has the same type of properties, I think, as Ativan, but it doesn't give you the drowsiness. And it's weird because they call it the miracle drug, because if you're getting into that anger state and you can at least catch it when you're getting anger, you can put this under your tongue and it brings you down again, right? But it doesn't make you sleepy. And that's the Effexor.
Yeah,
A lot of people are on that.
Effexor.
Yeah.
I think I was on that in jail, actually. Effexor.
I would. I just suggest staying away from all pharmaceuticals. Anyway, I know it's like there's a reason to take it, definitely.
Yeah.
But I encourage everybody to, if at all possible, to stay away. I mean, I took Advil today. I mean, big deal. I mean, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
But
my doctor gives me Ativan for anxiety, but I don't take it. She gives me like 3 a month, and I only need to take it if I'm going to a doctor's appointment or like some a scan or an X-ray or something like that I can't handle. I'll have triggers. Let's that word again, right? But those kind of things, because my doctor was a weirdo when I was a kid, so I have a really weird thing about doctors. You know what I mean? I can't handle that shit. So I need to kind of like put myself out sort of to get into a doctor, or there's no fucking way you're coming even near me,
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it makes sense though.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't take those every day. I have a medicine that I take for PTSD every day, but you don't get any effect off that, except that it doesn't bother me. I get through my days a lot easier. But the Ativan is something I think she gave me 3 before I got hurt, like 5 months ago, and I still have 2. You know what I mean? I very rarely take them. Just if I absolutely cannot handle doing what I have to do, right? So, but I find they're okay, but I try to stay away from pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you require it for, you don't need to white knuckle everything, and it's quality of life too, right? Like, I mean, there comes a point where, and not to. The problem is people's judgments on them. People are our own worst critic too, and you judge yourself because you take a medication to. It's like it's not doing you any favors, worsening things. So
yeah, absolutely. I actually took, because I've been on stuff. It took her about 3 years to get me to take the medication, right? Because I have anxiety about taking pills. I do not like medication, and so after about 3 years, I finally decided to take it. And it really changed everything for me, because it, like you said, quality of life. I couldn't get through my day without having problems, right? So once I started taking this medication, I can get through, 10 days without problems, So it works really well for me, but yeah.
The thing with brains is every single brain is different. There's no identical brain out there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just deeper than, they say walk a mile in my shoes. It's like, sure you can, but unless you receive things the same way and process things the same way, do things the same way, it's not going to be entirely. You'll never.
No, you can never walk a mile.
Like you can't say. The most unfair thing to say is like, it's someone that did the same things, but you're traumatized by it, and that person's not. It's like, well, I'm not. Well, that's fine. You're sociopathic, maybe,
Yeah.
Right? Maybe there's a little more.
Yeah, nobody's
going
gonna.
On there, right?
Yeah, nobody's gonna take the same thing from it. That's for damn sure. Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you for your service. I do appreciate that extremely, and thank you for coming on, because I know this isn't an easy topic to talk about, and I'm glad that you're making people a little more aware that it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah, no problem. That's the goal.
Yeah, and you're going to be starting your
I
Kind of
plan
looking
to.
into it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, do
Yeah.
my own thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
matter of time.
Well, let us know when
Again, I being your own worst critic, right?
Yeah.
Just do it. You just got to do it.
Tomorrow,
I
yeah.
don't like the sound of my voice, or
You know what? It took me years to be able to even do this. I mean, we've been
Sometimes
doing radio for 8 years, and it's like, but yeah, time to step it up. And it took us a while, but we did it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
sometimes I feel like I sound like a frog on steroids. So
Nobody likes their own voice.
you give
No.
steroids, and that's what I sound like.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right. Well, we will be on again. I'm sure Dan will come on with us at another time.
Yes, but
Maybe a different topic next time. Yeah, you never know. But okay, well, thanks for joining us today, Dan.
always.
And we will catch you same bat channel next time.
That's right. See you guys later.
Yeah.